What if you had been investing in real estate for 16 years, day in and day out, and you had the chance to go back in time and start over? What would you do differently? Well, that's the question somebody asked me, and that I'm going to tackle in this episode of Ask Coach. And we're getting started right now. Hi, I'm Chad Carson, also go by Coach, and this channel is all about helping you invest in real estate so you can retire early or achieve financial independence, and most importantly, do more of what matters. In just a moment, I'm going to take you to a clip from a recent Ask Coach live stream where someone asked a really interesting question. They're a fairly new investor, and we were going back and forth, and their comment was, Chad, if you were to go in a time machine, go back in time to the very beginning, based on your experience, the deals you've done, and I would add all the mistakes that I've made in my real estate business, what would you do differently starting over as a brand new investor? You could take back all of your experience, all of your knowledge. What would you do differently, or would you do anything differently? So I thought that's a pretty cool question, and I wanted to respond to it. So here is my answer. I thought about this a lot with because I got started with wholesaling. So basically going out and I put food on the table by finding deals for other people. So instead of being like a landlord or, doing anything else, I just was purely a deal finder for other people. And the thing I would have done differently, if any of you go that route where you're trying to get started in the real estate business, and it really is a business, that's not an investment. You're actually spending your time as an entrepreneur. What I would have done differently is get my real estate license right away, right off the bat. And the reason I recommend that to beginners now is because if you're trying to make money with real estate, if you're trying to get paid, having your license is the easiest way to get paid. Now, there are some requirements and some education requirements and some, kind of ongoing requirements you have. But I think all of those are worth it. In fact, you learn a lot when you take those tests and you have a broker and you have people that you can work with. And so just for an example, let's say that I was a bird dog and I would go out and find deals for other people. Let's say I'm out marketing and I'm talking to sellers. Let's say I find a seller who's willing to sell a property for $50,000 and it's a really good deal at my location. So if I had a list of potential buyers, so this is what wholesalers typically do, have a buyer's list, I could go to 2 or 3 of those kind of my trusted buyers and say, I've got this deal here. I've been negotiating with a seller. Are you interested in it? And because I trust them, they would then say, yeah, I'm interested. And I'd say, all right, well, what could you pay for it? And they might tell me I could pay $57,000. And so I've already started talking to the seller, and I've told the seller, look, I have my license, but I'm not working for you. I have other buyers that I'd be working for. So I'll be bringing them to you. And so I would go to those buyers and say, okay, great. I could get you that deal for $50,000 if you'll pay me a $7,000 buyer's fee. So I can negotiate that. It's all negotiable with my buyer. It's all negotiable with the seller. And so I'm representing the buyer in that case. And the point is that it's easier to get paid. I could get paid from that buyer. I could get paid on a lot of other deals where I would go out and negotiate as a wholesaler, and I would talk to 10 sellers, and maybe 8 or 9 of them are not good fits for me. And so I would just let them go. Like they might go list their house with somebody. Well, if I was an agent, if I had my license, I could refer those to a funnel, like to another real estate agent who I trusted, and maybe get some referral fees for listings as well. So that's what I would do differently, Tiara. It has just very specific with my strategy. I wasn't purely a wholesaler for long. It was probably a couple of years. And I got into more fixing and flipping houses, and then eventually to rental properties and managing my rentals. But during those 3 to 5 years where I was struggling to make sure I made money, it would have been really nice to have that extra source of security that having a license gives. It's just another way to make some income. And that's another interesting thing to think about for all of you who eventually want to retire off your rental income, or at least in part. Having your license, even if you don't use it right now, is a great backup plan. It's just, I like to don't just depend on one source of income. Having a side hustle, a job, or something you could grow into, and if you enjoy that kind of thing, would be a nice thing to have in your hip pocket. You could always go in there. You could just make a couple commissions a year just to kind of keep it active. But then if you really wanted to, if you had the time and the energy and the desire, you could then go turn your license into a business. So I would do that differently. I'm not sure how much of a difference. I survived. I made it as a wholesaler and as a flipper, but I think it would have been a little bit better approach. Thanks for watching this episode of Ask Coach. I'd like to know what you think about that. If you are an experienced investor or you've been in the game for a little while, what would you do if you started back over? Is there anything you'd change? Is there anything you'd do differently? Or maybe there's some things that you would do the same. Let me know. I've always loved to hear from you. If you're new to this channel, be sure to subscribe. You can click below and click the subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, click that little bell. It'll notify you the next time we have any episodes that come. And be sure to check out the library of other episodes I have. I'm building a lot of different Ask Coach videos and other topics related to real estate investing and financial independence. So I hope you'll like those. And again, this channel is all about investing in real estate so you can achieve financial independence and, most importantly, do more of what matters in your life. I'm Chad. I go by Coach. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.